You might have already come into town 3 days ago, or might have heard, and followed the art scene. Just yesterday was the closing of one of the most important art fairs nowadays in China. The Art Basel is now organizing its own Asian Lake in Hong Kong and has already been proven successful. When Art Basel was created, after the Basel event itself in Switzerland, in Miami, it was already hoisted to be the most important art fair in the world. But they did not realize when they came to Hong Kong just last year for the first time, the whole turnover, including both visitations as well as the actual achieved sales turnover, have already overtaken the Art Basel of Miami in just 1 year. So it is demonstrated that in this part of the world, art has become indeed a very significant commodity. Well, I started working on this some years back, and by now I'm happy to, be involved in this. As I said, this is a great assignment for me. I get to travel, I get to go to museums and galleries, I get to meet artists, I get to explain to them what we could do potentially to help them build their art programs and to reach and penetrate into a substantial art market source in China, and do also very meaningful art programs and exchanges that in the future will also nurture our own talents, not just in providing the way for showcasing art, but also developing creative productivity, which we will need eventually. This is a continuous investment. Why? Because even if we want to continue to provide for new diversification, as I said earlier, we can not just ever rely on imported technologies. We need to be building on our own capabilities. We need our own people eventually to capture this. So, in conclusion, diversification can only take root when it is not merely a single product or a project, but with a life of its own that can provide the conditions to nurture local know-how and passion. Although there is no doubt that today our casino's product offerings have significantly expanded, but have we achieved the diversification we are after? And have we done enough? A single show, a specific exhibition, or just another club in town will remain just such. But in order to achieve the diversification, a product should only be considered a starting point. Ideally, a product should evolve and give life into new opportunities, new network, new market, new talents, and finally, a new industry of its own. Ultimately, if true diversification can stand its chance, we will need to introduce elements that can expand the fundamental skill set of our talents and foster new markets that can complement our economy mix. And we ourselves will have to start by investing in tangible resources, including not just the money, but our time and our own knowledge. While we transplant a crop from abroad, we need to consider whether it is suitable for the soil at home and whether it will be able to take on new life in the new environment. We have a remarkably supportive government, and all of us as gaming operators are united on the front of diversification. I am confident that we will have a bright future ahead of us. What we need to ensure is that we are applying our resources in the right areas of growth where Macau has intrinsic advantages. And more importantly, to understand that seeds planted need careful nurturing for the sake of sustainable development. And we need you to keep coming back, giving us advice, and joining forces. So thank you very much, and have a very good conference today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thank you for attending our program this morning. At this time, we will take a break to open the G2E Asia show floor. That is taking place in Hall A, out the door to your right. You are welcome to join us. You will be able to access the floor at about 11:15. Your lunch will be served at 12 o'clock in the Sicily Ballroom, which is right next to us right now. And lastly, the program here will resume at 1:15.